Hello, my loves, and welcome back to the podcast. I am always so happy to have you here, and thank you so much for spending time with me. We are going to jump right into today's topic, which is around initiation during intimacy. Now, there is a huge misconception that I feel I've just seen this theme among my clients, and I've done some market research calls recently, and this is the number one thing that comes up is feeling awkward around initiating sex or awkward around initiating any sort of intimacy. And we're going to dive into the why. The why is there that awkwardness? Why is there that fear? And what's underneath all of that? But also, the other misconception is that people are thinking that initiating it has to only be done in one way, and that one way is dominance. And I'm here to break that belief because there are many, many, many ways to initiate, and I'm about to spill the tea on what that fucking is. Because no more, girlies, no more are you going to be afraid to initiate. You're going to find the kind of flavor of initiation that you like, and that may look different on every day, on every occasion, but you're going to have a fucking toolbox of ways to initiate. My girl, you are going to be initiating the shit out of your partner or your potential partner, whoever it is that you be getting it on with. You're going to be initiating and you're going to feel so good about it because I'm going to give you the different types of initiation, okay? And I'm going to give you some prompts on to think about because there's so many deeper reasons as to why things come up in intimacy, and this is why I do the work that I do, okay? There's so many different reasons that are actually not related to sex or intimacy itself. It's always another fucking wounding, okay? But intimacy and sex seem to be the mirror back to us. For what reason? Probably because it's the most vulnerable thing we could ever do with somebody. So let's get into today's episode. I'm so excited to talk about this. This is one of the things I love talking about because honestly, my mission here is I want everybody to feel good in intimacy and good in their relationships and not just fucking good. I want them to walk into the bedroom, look their man or look their woman in the eye and be like, I want you, and have full fucking confidence saying that, because when we can be in full conviction and knowing what our desires are in the bedroom, that just fucking ripples out into other areas of your life, okay? When we heal our intimacy issues and we heal our confidence issues, bro, let me tell you, it don't just start to get good in the bedroom. It starts to get good in all aspects of our life, okay? So let's get into it. I'm going to pull up my notes. So the misconception about initiating an intimacy is that you have to be more dominant. And this scares a lot of women because it's outside of their comfort zone. They don't want to come off as too masculine or too needy. Yet they still have this desire to embody that piece of identity where it's like, oh, I want to be the initiator. I want to take control. But they feel uncomfortable doing it. And I get it, okay? I've been there. There were times where I would literally just wait. When I was in a relationship, I would just wait for my man to initiate with me. And I just honestly, and for me personally, I had to just get comfortable with somebody first. So that's another key piece to it, is you might just need time with somebody to kind of get comfortable and then you'll start initiating. But also too, I want you to have this regardless if you've known this person for a long time or whatever the history is. I want you to feel so fucking confident to be like, I know what I want. I'm going to go after it. And spoiler alert, okay, if you're a woman listening to this and you like men, the boys, the men, they be loving when we initiate. It's a fucking turn on for them. It's a turn on, okay? Yet, there's still this resistance for us to be the initiators, right? And we're going to get into that. So, what I want to break down is there's so many different ways to initiate. It doesn't always have to be in a dominant manner, okay? You can do so from a place of softness, okay? You can do so from a place of softness. You can do so from a place of play. You can do so from a place of role play and or sensuality. And you can do so from a place of healthy aggression and dominance. We're going to break all of those down. Okay. So let's start with the first one where we're doing it from a place of softness. Okay. So what that can look like, and I'm just going to give you a random example because I just think back of times where I've initiated and have just felt so much in my feminine power, and just seeing the look on my man's face at that time, or I should say man's, because I've I've done this with my past partners, and I have a certain way of initiating that is, it's not necessarily from a dominant place. I mean, I have done that in other occasions, but for me, what I love to do, okay, what I love to actually fucking do is just whispering in my man's ear, saying something fucking sweet or something really hot. And maybe it's, I want you, or I don't know, maybe it's, I want you inside of me, or maybe it's, we could say all the things. And then what I would start to do is I would start kissing his neck really softly. Okay? The lining of the neck right here. Ooh. I don't know about you guys, but that is a soft spot for me. The neck kissing. And then what you can do is you can start to, from that place of softness, and you can transition into a more dominant or healthy, aggressive way. Okay? And so that's kind of just a brief example of how you can do it from a place of softness. Another way that you can do it from a place of softness is maybe you just start caressing. Okay, let me tell you, men love the caressing piece, okay? And it is nice because you are taking your time. This is the problem. This is the problem when it comes to people thinking that, you know, they have a problem with initiating, is that they think that it has to be done quick, that it has to be done rough, and it don't got to be that way. In fact, I would encourage you to slow down. I would encourage you to just take your time with the initiation. To kind of piggyback off of, you know, this gently kissing of the neck and the whispering of the ears. Another thing that I would do is, I'm kissing my man's face. This might sound really fucking corny, but I'm kissing his cheek. I'm kissing his eyelids when his eyes are closed. I kiss his nose. And then I'm going to move on to the ear. And then, let me tell you, they love it. They fucking love it. And from a physiological standpoint or a biological standpoint, there is something that happens when you warm the body up. That's if you were exercising. Okay, you're not going to go straight into your exercise and just start fucking lifting heavy. No, you got to warm up. And your arousal system needs to be warmed up before you get into the actual act itself. Okay? And taking your time from a place of softness as well too, let me tell you, that stimulates the arousal system on a whole other level because it's the lead up. That's, if we use an example of, okay, say you're trying to, I don't know, maybe you're trying to complete a goal. And maybe that goal is, I don't know, you're building a business. Let's just say that, okay? You're building a business. And you just have this business all of a sudden, okay? You didn't have to do any work and you just got the business. You would feel empty inside. You would be like, okay, what's the next thing? On to the next. I already got this. It's when you're buying something off Amazon or anything online and it comes the next day. There's no anticipation and you get it. And oftentimes when you get the package, you're excited in the moment for a hot second and then you move on and that feeling is kind of gone. So it's about enjoying the process of the initiation piece. Don't feel like you have to rush it. Take your time, be slow with it. You can be gentle and initiate, and that can still be very, very sexy. Guys also like a woman who can be in their feminine and who can be soft, that they can like also soften around. And again, this is not the only way to initiate. I'm just giving you an example. Okay? Let's move on to the second piece. You can initiate playfully through play fighting, tickling, and then making your move from there, okay? So, what do I mean by that? Say, you and your man or you and your woman, whoever it is, maybe you just start bugging them. Sometimes it's cute to bug your person and then it starts to get physical and you start tickling or you start play fighting. And then all of a sudden, there's the serious moment that happens when you guys stop and you look into each other's eyes. And then you start to kiss him passionately. You grab his face, you kiss him fucking passionately, and you do step 1, kissing of the neck, whispering of the ear, or, maybe, I don't know, maybe you, from that place, you start to go down on him or you go down on her. So, listen, when you're doing things playfully, you can experience amazing intimacy through playfulness because it just kind of, without making this weird, but it does kind of lead back to us and our inner child in a sense, because at the end of the day, a lot of our things root from our inner child. And when we can, and I don't mean this in a weird fucking pedophile way, but when we can bring our inner child, the playful part of it, the playful part of the inner child, into the bedroom and giggle and laugh and then be able to have those serious moments of looking into each other's eyes and then shifting over to our adult self and getting down with it, that's going to be a huge shift in your sex life because it's just not all serious, right? Some people, a lot of couples too, they like to enjoy intimacy from a place of having fun, right? For me personally, yes, I think it can be both. I think it could be sacred because I do think that being intimate with somebody deserves time and attention because it's so sacred. You're sharing your body with somebody. And not only that, from an energetic standpoint, when you have sex with somebody or you do anything intimate with somebody, you are exchanging energies, which means you guys are picking up on each other's triggers, each other's traumas, etc. And that can live on in your body, right? And so with that being said too, with the playfulness, there is something beautiful that happens that when you initiate with playfulness, that it actually can heal a lot on an energetic level, right? Okay. Now, the third one is from a place of role play and or sensuality. Okay, has to be my favorite one. Okay. It has to be my favorite one because a personal story is about to come out right now. So I had a boyfriend and I was so much in love with him. I've talked about him on the podcast before. He's one of the best boyfriends I had. That will be his name from now on, because I've said this on other podcasts or on other episodes where I'm like, oh, he was the best boyfriend, so he's going to be named the best boyfriend. So I remember for his birthday, we had gone to a hotel and it was local. I don't know. It was local. And we got to the hotel. I got to the hotel really early and I decorated the room because I can't remember if I said this or not, but it was his birthday. Got to the hotel room, decorated the room, and I had told him, I have a surprise for you tonight, but you have to wait until, we're after dinner or whatever, because we went out to dinner that night. So we get back to the room and I gave him the last piece of his gift. And the last piece of his gift was a dance. Okay. I was his little stripper. And I had never done this for anybody before. I don't think I've done this for anybody after either. But let me tell you, I went out and I bought these red heels. Okay, they were tall as fuck. I bought these red heels. I bought this leopard print bra and I bought this red thong. The outfit was outfitting. Okay, it was so hot. And I had told him, I was like, okay, I'll give you the present in a second. Like I'm gonna just go into the washroom. I'm gonna change to my night clothes. Little did he know. I walk out looking hot as fuck. Okay. Hot as fuck. And he's just sitting there on the couch and he's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, baby, down. Sit down. No, he was on the bed at first. And then we moved him because he was a very tall man. And the height was kind of fucking up like my whole lap dance. So I was like, okay, we got to move you to the couch. So anyway, I put on the music, and what did I dance to? Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. I think I danced to Beyonce Dance for You. I think that was the song I chose, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So I put the song on, and like I was nervous as fuck, okay? And I'm a dancer. Okay? I know I can dance. I'm 1000% confident in that area. I know I can fucking dance, okay? But it's different when like you're dancing in front of somebody and it's like for something really vulnerable, you know? And like it wasn't just like for sex. Like I don't know, I just feel like for me, maybe it's cuz I'm a dancer, but for me, dancing is such an act of devotion. You know, we do this like maybe it's connected to culturally as well too, like at weddings, or I don't know, I've just like always danced and performed, and it was just like an act of devotion to the people that I love. You know, I remember my mom, she was always encouraging me like at all family parties, like, oh, like, Sammy's gonna dance for us. And it was just, and everyone loved it, like, and for me, it was just like an act of devotion to, the people I love. Like, when you're an entertainer and you're an artist as well too, like I consider myself an artist and a creative, and when you are doing those things, it's actually it's such a beautiful thing when it's something that you're so passionate about, and then you bring it into other areas of your life, right? And so maybe the sensuality piece, like maybe it's not dancing for you, but maybe it's, I don't know, art, maybe it's poetry, maybe it's singing, those, I mean, I'm naming off all the things that I fucking love to do, but there might be something else that you like that I haven't mentioned. Okay, back to the story though. So yeah, my guy, he's sitting on the couch, and like eyes are like dilated. His eyes are dilated. He's just like watching me. And I am shaking, but I'm like literally shaking my ass, literally, but like literally nerve shaking. And I was just doing like a really slow dance. I don't know if you guys have heard the Beyonce song Dance for You. It's not necessarily fast, but it's not slow, but it's a very sensual song. And I was just so much connected to my body. I made sure I made eye contact. What I did was like, he was sitting on the couch, and there was one point where like I transitioned into like slow and sensual movements, and then I got more aggressive, where I kind of pushed him to fall back on the couch. And oh my gosh, when we did this, we were both laughing. So this is where the playfulness comes in. When we did this, we were both fucking laughing our asses off because I had made him this it was like picture frame, and we both had matching Converses, and we went to this place, I forget what it's called, but it was by a lake, and it's somewhere in Ontario, and it has blue waters, and I just genuinely forget the name, but that's fine. So we're by this lake, and we have a picture of like our shoes together, like both of our Converses together. It's a cute pic. So I had put this into a picture frame, and I had got like the Scrabble pieces, and I had wrote something in the Scrabble piece. I think I wrote like love or something. I don't know. Something cute. And I framed it, and it was honestly, it was so nice. And I guess this, the frame was sitting on the couch where he was sitting. And when I pushed him back, the frame, well, we hear something crack, and we're both like, oh fuck. And we're like, oh my God, was that the picture frame? And he's like, Sam, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, it's okay. I'm like, just don't worry about it right now. We're in the moment. But we're laughing because we're just like, oh my God, we can't believe that happened. So, anyway, I'm dancing and I'm doing my thing. And then after we were done, I mean, like, what happened after we were done? Like, such a turn on, right? By the way, guys, in my confidence in the bedroom series, like I had talked about this, and I had asked you guys to let me know if creating a sensual dance, like a sensual dance class, is something that you guys wanted. And so many people messaged me saying, yes, I want to do the sensual dance class, because a lot of people don't No, and I think like there's like this fantasy piece of this involved where it's like, oh my God, I want to dance for my man. Or maybe your man has that, excuse me, has that fantasy of like, oh my God, I want her to dance for me. And it's a nice gesture. It really is. And it can be a part of the playfulness part too. So let me know if that's something that you want. I'm probably going to make it anyway because it's going to be something fun for me. But yeah, I think that would be such a game changer in so many relationships. I feel like people should be dancing for each other because it's not only an act of devotion, but it's just hot, you know? It's just fucking cute, hot, all the things. So anyway, after my boyfriend at the time and we were talking after, and he was just like, I have never had somebody do something like this for me before. And I looked at him like, baby, because you haven't dated someone like me before. You haven't dated somebody like me. And he's like, no, not even just the dance. He's like, obviously that was so beautiful and I loved it and it was like really hot. But also too, the decorating of the hotel. And I think I wrote him a note and, confess my dying love for him. And yeah, he just felt really special. And I think that's a huge part of, we think that initiation is something that is like something that we do in the moment and that it's only that moment. But really, to have intimacy and that initiation piece to actually mean something more than how you're actually carrying out those tangible actions is actually the foundation of your relationship and how you show up in other ways of initiation and leadership in your relationship. And this applies to whether you're single or you're in a relationship. These are things that you can shift in your relationship to. How many times have I said relationship? Are you guys counting? Like, let's count, because I know I'm a relationship and intimacy coach or confident intimacy coach, whatever I am. But I feel like I be saying words a lot and repeating them. Oh my God. Okay. I get off topic really quickly, guys, as you guys can see. But, yeah, like, I mean, it's so much more than the sensuality piece. It's so much more than the being dominant. It's so much more than the kissing on the neck. It's literally how you're building the foundation. Because think about it too. We need a certain amount of safety and capacity in our nervous system to make these initiations. Okay. Now, of course, we can do it and feel nervous. We can do it and feel fear 1000%. Because, like I said, even when I was doing that with my ex, I was still nervous, but I did it anyway. And I mean, what a beautiful moment to create. And this is what I want you to start doing. This is the whole point of this episode is like, you don't have to fucking wait around for your person to initiate. Start creating those moments on your own. It just shouldn't be left up to your partner just because he's the male. Or maybe, maybe you're a male listening to this and you want your person to initiate more. It shouldn't just be on one person. There does need to be reciprocity in this because it's just consideration, and it just changes the dynamic and changes it up. Because if it's the same thing every time, if that person is always initiating and you're there and you're just kind of like being the submissive one all the time, which is fine too. I don't want to tell you how to be in intimacy, but the theme that I'm hearing is that a lot of women want to initiate more. And so this is the perspective I'm coming at you with, okay? So there is the sensuality piece, like I just mentioned, and the role play, and like with role play, like, how can I say this? Like, in all honesty, like, I haven't like done much role play in my relationships where you're pretending to be something else. Like, for me, I haven't tried it before, so I can't really knock it. But my sort of role play, I feel like, has just been around dancing, where like, or like me, or I remember I had a boyfriend. This was a long time ago. He's one of my first boyfriends, and like we used to This is like a really personal story I'm about to fucking share. But we wouldn't see each other every day. And when we had the urge, we would, guys, I'm whispering because I'm like at my parents' house and like, I just don't want them to hear about this story. Like, I literally plaster myself online talking about this shit. And I'm like in my childhood bedroom whispering into a mic about sex because my parents are downstairs. Oh my God. Anyway, back to the story once again. Like, let's reel it in, Sam. So, yeah, like him and I, like we would be on the phone and like we would have phone sex. Like we would describe what we're doing to ourselves and how we want the other person to feel, and we would use specific language that we were both comfortable with when it came to quote unquote dirty talk. We didn't really dirty talk. We were just kind of like describing what we wanted to do to one another in a respectful way. And so, again, this is what I mean that there's different forms of initiation. This is how you can tap into your fucking creativity and get into your feminine power, because what happens is like when you can find different ways to initiate, then your creativity, and like that comes from your womb space. That is where we genuinely create life from. We create life from there. We hold our confidence there. Our just like other forms of creativity come from there, right? And so get fucking creative with how you're initiating things. Even though I'm giving you categories on what different initiation could look like, you can still make it your own and create your own categories, okay? And again, that can be based on what you think is in alignment for you. Like I said, like I'm a dancer, so I use that to my benefit and as a form of creation to create these moments, right? And maybe for somebody else, maybe it's, I had mentioned poetry. Like maybe you write like maybe you write like a fucking a poem about like what you want to do to your person, okay? Maybe you're a writer. Maybe you write your person an erotic novel or an erotic passage and you give it to them or you read it to them. There's just so many things that you can do around initiating, and it just doesn't have to look like what the traditional initiation looks like. Okay. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next one. So let's actually talk about what the traditional initiation of like healthy aggression or dominance actually looks like. Now, that in itself too can be super powerful. I do know a lot of men who love when their women dominate and they take control and they're a little rough, and I know a lot of men really like that. And that's okay. That's a beautiful thing as long as there's consent, as long as that there's consent and that you're okay with how you're showing up like that. Because I know for some women, again, it can be out of their comfort zone. And maybe some of them actually don't want to actually be dominant and they want to initiate in a different way, right? But if you do want to tap into more of that fierce kind of the word that is coming to my head is like bichota. Bichota is like, you guys know Carol G, right? And so like she uses that word. Like it's just like you're a badass. You're a fucking badass. You go after what you want. I'm pretty sure it's actually related to like a cartel term as well too. Like she makes the money. But when I use that word bichota, it's just like, oh, like it's like you're a baddie, you know? And so maybe that is the identity that you want to embody, is that baddie bichota energy, like poderosa, like I'm just all of these words. I know that they're Spanish, and poderosa is like, it's like powerful woman, like you're powerful and in your fucking power. And the reason I like to use Spanish words as like emphasis because they just have so much more depth and meaning that you could never explain in the fucking English language. Okay. So these are new vocabulary words that you can take into your sexual life and be like, I am poderosa, I am bichota, I'm a baddie. Baddie's English, but like, and maybe that's something too. Okay, download coming in. But maybe that is something too where, like, if you are having trouble tapping into that more fierce, dominant, kind of healthy, aggressive side, maybe you start to create an alter ego for yourself when you want to initiate. And what is that alter ego? First of all, let's name her. Okay, we're going to name her. Name her a fucking sexy ass name. Okay, name her a sexy name. How does she show up? What is the identity that she has? Write all of this fucking down. Write it down right now. Get a piece of paper, get your journal, and write it down. How does she show up? What language does she use? What is her tone of voice? What does her eye contact look like? What sort of body language does she have? What movements does she do with her body, but also the movements that she's actually making outside of intimacy in her actual real life? Because like I said, when we tap into these different forms of of initiation, it doesn't just improve our intimacy life, it improves all other aspects of our life, because we can pull. This is the thing I always talk about. I always talk about transferable skills in relationships and confidence and all of those things. If you are wanting to embody something in one area of your life, start to pull from other areas. Okay, start to treat other areas of your life as transferable skills. Okay, so for example, with this like healthy aggression or dominant piece, when in your life do you feel like you had to be assertive, or you had to say what was on your mind, or you had to voice what you wanted? And you're going to say, okay, it was that time where I was at a job and a coworker, she fucking said some shit to me and I had to assert myself. I had to set boundaries, and I just had to assert myself. Okay, this is an example. Okay, and then you can take from that and say, how can I apply this into my life of intimacy? Okay, take the energy from the different experiences in your life and start to add it into that alter ego of yours. Okay, so how is she talking? What's she saying? What language is she using? What's her body language? How is she showing up? What thoughts does she have? Okay, the dominant, healthy, aggressive, wonderful woman who is about to initiate, is she doubting herself? Is she saying, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to be rejected. I don't know what he's going to think of me. Absolutely fucking not. Or if she is saying that, or if she is thinking that, she's going to say, hey, I'm going to fucking initiate the fuck out of him. And it doesn't matter if he says no. And what I mean by that is, like, you're not going to make anything mean it about you if he says no. We're going to respect his no, obviously. But if he, for example, says, hey babe, like, I'm kind of tired, I'm not really in the mood, you're not going to make it mean anything about you. Oh fuck, he doesn't want me, or oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? Maybe he's actually just tired. And we get to respect people's bodies, especially when they're tired, and especially when it comes to sexual intimacy, right? So she's not worried about, like, oh, is he going to reject me? What's he going to think of me? Is he going to start treating me differently because, oh, this is a big one that one of my clients actually brought up in session the other day, where she was like, I'm worried if I'm like more sexual with him and I show more of that side, that he's going to start treating me differently after. Okay. If that happens, you're with the wrong person. Okay. You're with the wrong person if that happens, because the healthy masculine is going to love you regardless of like how you're showing up in sex, okay? And what I mean by that is, if you're showing more of a sexual side, like, he's not going to degrade you. He respects you already, okay? These are the men that we're choosing. Period. Okay? So tap into that alter ego. Bring that alter ego into the bedroom when you're initiating. And maybe this is another exercise that you can do, okay? So do the exercise of the alter ego. But are there any other identities that you want to start embodying and start shifting in between? Because you don't have to stay in the same identity during intimacy. Like, maybe at first you're initiating through the healthy, aggressive way. And then maybe he starts to take over and he starts to take control and you go more into the submissive, and that's okay too. Or maybe you guys interchange between the two. You don't have to stay in the same role that you started in at the beginning of the act. Okay, so let's talk about some examples of what healthy aggression and dominance in the bedroom actually kind of looks like in regards to initiation. Okay, so for me, I always like, especially when I like somebody, like, I have an imagination that will just, it'll take me to places where I'm like, holy shit, this needs to happen in real life and I'm about to make it fucking happen. Okay, because for me, I feel like I can be both. I can do the soft, like I had said in the beginning, I mostly am initiating like a soft way, but there are times where like my ovaries, my reproductive system be pumping and I'm like, oh, like I just want to, like the soft Sammy is not present right now. And the part of me that's like ready to pounce, she's here, she's present. Okay. So when we have that part of ourselves come up, I'm going to give you some scenarios. Maybe you are like railing your man up against the wall. You're kissing him passionately. You're holding his head, holding the back of his neck, and you are just going at it. Okay. And again, I should have prefaced this before, but like before you even do any of these initiations or even have intimacy with anybody, like you should be having conversations about like what's off limits, what's not. For example, like somebody, if you're very aggressive with somebody, that can be triggering, especially if they have sexual violence, right? Experience of sexual violence or past history of sexual violence, that can be triggering for somebody, right? And so we want to have these conversations and find out where your partner is at and be respectful of that. So I just really want to emphasize that, okay? But say your partner is okay with healthy aggression. Maybe you're like pushing them up against the wall, you're looking them in their eyes, and you're grabbing their face, and you're fucking kissing them so passionately with so much love, but it's like also like, oh my God. It's like a different word. Like passionate is not strong enough to describe this feeling, okay? But like you're pushing them up against the wall, you're kissing them, maybe you're like, you start to trail down their body and start to kiss them, and you're grabbing, and maybe your nails are scratching their backs, and oof, I'm getting heated just think about this, guys. Right? So this is what like healthy aggression, healthy initiation can look like, right? Or maybe, you're like pushing them on the bed and you just like start to straddle them and you're on top of them and you become that alter ego identity. Okay. And that, honestly, a lot of women think that makes them too masculine. Girl, no, it's so hot to be in your power, and it's so hot to have so much emotion and liberation like that. Like that's what I really describe it as, is like a fucking freeing, a liberation of like all that pent up energy. That's like, okay, we're onto something, because let's look at it from a nervous system perspective as well too. Take this sex piece out of it, right? And just say that someone did something and you have all this pent up energy, but you didn't say anything and you just started shrinking and not using your voice. And then it just turned into unhealthy aggression. It turned into resentment, all of those things, right? It goes the same way with your sexual desires, okay? Like if you have this pent up energy and you have this fantasy of like, oh my God, like I want to do this to my person. And again, I want to highlight the consent piece here, okay? Because not every desire needs to be acted out. Okay, we can have healthy desires and have a conversation about it and make sure that our partners are feeling safe during intimacy, okay? Because that's really important as well too. So say you have this desire and you want to carry it out, but you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm too scared to say anything. I'm too scared to make the first move. You are suppressing a piece of you that wants to be freed and wants to have a voice and wants to even have its own shape and form. Okay. All because you're worried about how they're going to perceive you. Like when you're in a healthy relationship, you are going, like, your partner's going to want you. Yeah, there's going to be times where like they may not be in the mood. Don't get me wrong. But majority of the time, your partner is going to want you. And they're going to want to receive your love and fulfill those desires. And you not expressing them, whether that be verbally, sexually, physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever, all aspects, that is doing a disservice to your relationship. Okay? Because every act of intimacy, every act that you take in intimacy, including the initiation piece, is either building on your relationship and strengthening the bond and the connection, or it is weakening it. There's no in between with this. There's no neutral, okay? Because these experiences are there to, one, mirror back to us certain things that we either need to heal, or two, emphasize and grow our relationship with ourselves, with our bodies, and with our other, and like with our person. Okay. And we want to make sure that we're doing everything from a place of authenticity. I want you to feel like you have a range of options on how to initiate, because you do, especially if you're a woman listening to this. You have a range of emotions. You have a range of creativity. Let that come out, because the initiation is actually the thing beneath that is like those fears. When somebody doesn't want to initiate or they have fears around it, there's the fear of rejection, the fear of abandonment, the fear of being treated differently after, all of the fears, okay? While those are valid, are you going to let that fucking stand in the way of creating these moments for you and your partner, of creating a life of intimacy that actually makes you feel fulfilled while you're able to experience your sexual desires? No, don't let that happen. Okay? Okay. My loves, I'm leaving you with some other journal questions, okay? I want you to really reflect on this. Take time after this episode, like right after this episode, while things are fresh, while you feel this activation. And I want you to journal about these few questions, okay? So, what would it mean about you if you started to embody the identity of being the initiator when you want to? What do you think you're going to make that mean about yourself? Is that going to mean that you are, okay, I'm using this word, but like, are you going to see yourself as like a quote unquote slut or whore? Are you feeling like your partner's going to see you as that? Okay. Or what can you make it actually mean about yourself? Can we shift the narrative? What's the positive cognition in this of like, oh, being in the initiator, like I'm in my fucking power. My man sees me in my fucking power. He fucking loves it. And we build and create this amazing moment. Okay. I'm chosen. He's feeling chosen. That's another piece, is like, guys want to feel chosen too. It's not just us not feeling chosen as women. Guys want to feel chosen too. They want to feel appreciated. They want to feel all the things that we want to feel too. Okay. So, number one, what would it mean about you if you started to embody the identity of being the initiator when you wanted to? Okay. Number two, what do you think you need as an individual to get there, to get to that embodiment of that identity? So maybe it's creating that alter ego. Maybe it is, maybe it's practicing, with the whole sensual dance piece that I did for my man at the time. I practiced, okay? I visualized it, and that helped me so much, because I kind of felt like, oh, okay, I've done this already before. Okay, I have the confidence and I have the reps to do this. Okay, like I know it's familiar for me, okay? Even though I had never done that for anybody before, right? So what do you think that you need to get there? And What do you feel it is costing you to have the desire yet not necessarily being acting on it? So, what do you feel it's costing you to have the desire to initiate, but yet you're still not acting on it? And how could this impact your relationship with yourself? And how is it impacting your relationship with your partner or potential partner? The next question, what do you think you need to quote unquote have, and then you'll be able to initiate? Okay. Are you waiting on yourself to say, oh, like I'm only gonna initiate when I have the perfect body. Oh, I'm only gonna initiate when I know how to dance properly. Oh, I'm only gonna initiate when I feel confident enough to. No, you're building your fucking confidence through experience. Okay. And I know you might be worried if your partner's going to laugh at you, worried about what they're going to think. If you have a partner who is laughing at you about that shit, like, absolutely not. Like, somebody should be appreciating you for your efforts in initiating. Okay. So I want you to keep that in mind. Okay. And last but not least, what are 3 small, tangible things that you can do to start the process of embodying this, embodying the initiation piece? Okay. So again, maybe that's practicing. Okay. Maybe it's taking smaller steps towards initiating. What does that look like for you? Okay. Or maybe it's just even verbalizing, hey, I want to start initiating more. And maybe you're asking your partner, like, what would you find like really sexy? Or like just asking, do some market research with your partner and just ask them, what would it look like for you? How would it make you feel good for me to initiate? And then also ask yourself that question too, of like, what's going to make me feel good to initiate? Like, how am I going to feel good in my body when I do that? What thoughts do I need to have to do that? What type of, I want you to start asking yourself in-depth questions around this and see what comes up around the wounding piece of like the fears that are coming up, the rejection wounds, the abandonment wounds, the not being accepted, that like all of those things come into play with this. It's literally not about the initiation piece. Okay. My loves, I have absolutely loved talking about this. If this episode landed with you, please share this with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, whoever needs to hear this, because truly, I want people to be fucking in their power, in intimacy, in their relationships, and with the relationship with themselves. Like, you guys have no idea how this is going to make you so much more confident in other areas of your life. I cannot emphasize that enough. Like, you're going to be going into the job or building the business being like, I am that fucking bitch. Because you've practiced having that alter ego. You've practiced choosing yourself by saying, I'm going to fucking start this. I'm going to initiate it regardless of the outcome. And I'm going to do the fucking damn thing. That is going to build on your confidence. Even if you experience a rejection, even if you experience abandonment. Okay. Because like, let's be real, certain things, there's uncertainty in everything. Right. And if that does happen, trust yourself that you're going to be able to navigate it. Of course you are. When those things come up, you're being given an opportunity to look deeper and say, how can I love myself deeper? How can I praise myself for the way that I actually showed up? Oh, I initiated and, maybe my man said he didn't want me, or maybe, a certain relationship didn't work out and I was initiating and I was vulnerable. Okay. Yes, I know that sucks 1000%. And I have so much empathy for that. I've been through it many times. Okay. And how can we look at it and be like, wow, I showed the fuck up for myself. I did the damn thing. And when we can practice that in our most vulnerable pieces of life, your friendships are going to start to look different. Okay. The way that you're approaching your business, the way that you're approaching, if you're in a 9-to-5, the way that you're approaching your 9-to-5 job, you're going to be the most fucking confident bitch in the fucking room. People are going to be looking at you like, holy shit, like, what is she doing that's so different? She's literally glowing. Oh, the reason she's glowing is because she fucking started trusting herself. The reason she's glowing is because she took a risk on herself. The reason she's glowing is because she fucking knows her fucking worth. There is something to be said about doing the inner work and truly navigating and releasing all the fucking bullshit that we all carry. Okay, all of us carry this. This is the thing. It's like it's a fucking epidemic that's happening. We all carry all of this baggage from our past, from relationships, from childhood, from, different family dynamics, different friendship dynamics. Like all the things are accumulated, right? And we start to make it mean things about ourselves in love. Like, all of a sudden, we can't be the ones who have desires and want to initiate sex? Like, what? No, absolutely fucking not. We're not doing that, okay? You're stepping into your power fucking day. You're going to do those journaling questions. You're going to send me a DM. Let me know what comes up for you, what you took away from this episode. And I want to hear how you're going to be initiating from this point forward. You got this. You fucking got this. I promise you. My love, send this to a friend. Share this episode to your story. That would be fucking phenomenal, because everybody, whether they're in a relationship or not, needs to fucking hear this. They need to hear this. This is something that so many people are struggling with, and you could be the reason why they make a move and make the initiative, because they've listened to this fucking activation that has come through me, through God. Oh, such a fucking good episode. I can't. I can, but I can't. Okay, my love, have a beautiful rest of your day, evening, night, afternoon, whenever you're watching this. And it would mean so much to me if you rated the podcast, left a review, wherever you're watching. I know it's different on different platforms, but yeah, show some love, share the podcast, because I believe in this mission so fucking deeply, and I want to touch as many hearts as I can while I'm still here on this planet, because I came here to fucking do this thing. Okay? I love you. Also, I have one-on-one spots open if this is something that you actually want to work through and start to see how your life can actually change on the other side of embodying this piece, the initiation piece, and all the other things that come up in your relationship, because they're all interconnected. So hit me up in my DMs if you want to snag your spot. And I can't wait to hear how this episode has really impacted you and how you're going to make the change. Okay, you got this. I'm proud of you and I love you.